Welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. We are here. I am Keigen. I am the host of this episode, and with me is a venture capitalist goon by the name of Lan. Lan, how Worlds and Moonin are you feeling today?
I love being paid with compromised money to fund my ventures. I'm
This
so
sounds
happy.
right. This sounds right. These are things I've heard Lan say this many times. He's never not saying it. Blood money's his favorite. Mubi? Yes, please.
Yeah,
This is
Mubi is my favorite streaming service. Substack is my favorite
newsletter host.
Newsletter host.
Anyway, if in case you weren't clued in on all the venture capitalists and me saying worlds and moons, we are today talking about the concept universe known as Three Worlds, Three Moons. And the company, company concept universe, creative team known as Three Worlds, Three Moons. Recently, I mean, it was me, you, and Tyler is who I think of when I think of Three Worlds, Three Moons. I mean, there's other stuff too. We don't need to get into that, but there was a suspiciously large file dropped onto Mega that made us go and then me being disgusting. I was like, "What's on here? What are they at?" Because we're 4 years in. We started for year 4 of Three Worlds, Three Moons.
We're on year 5 actually, because it started in August of 2021. So it's year one. Year 1 is 21 to 2022. Year 2 is 2022 to 2023.
Right. 4 years have been completed.
4 years have been completed. Yeah, we're on year 5 now.
So we're on year 5. You're on year 5. Thank you for correcting me on that.
No problem. We're not good at math on this podcast. Just for first-time listeners. First-time listeners, we don't usually joke about CP, and we're bad at math.
Yeah. Normally we don't, but it's just there's a connection. Anyway, I watched a lot of PTA movies recently. Three Worlds, Three Moons. It's just it's like a nagging kernel in my tooth, little wrinkle in my brain. I know it's happening. And we took this excuse to check it out, to see what's going on. And that entails all of it. I dug in the minds of the newsletter. I got in the archive. I got into the app. I read every comic that's on here. I read a bunch of posts. I tried to watch the videos. Those videos are archived in some way that they're not viewable. I tried to do it all.
Did you get the passcode? Because some of them need a passcode.
Oh, shit. I didn't. Yeah, no, I don't know how to get the passcode. And we could talk about that. But I wanted to, I'm going to pay $8 disgustingly. I'm disgusted with myself. But if I'm going to do it,
for the sake of this episode, we have to become part of the problem. Is what we're saying.
Yeah. And, at least 90% of it went to Three Worlds, Three Moons. At least 90% of that now.
At least, thankfully, only 10% went to the Nazis.
Only 10% went to the Nazis, and it's unfortunate. But I really wanted to dig into everything that's there. I didn't want to rely on some ethical stranger who compiled files. And I mean, in all reality, there's much more on the website than was available. Anyway, so that's what we're doing here. We're doing that today. Me and my friend Lan, we've been on this Three Worlds, Three Moons journey for some time.
We were there at the beginning.
We were there in the beginning. We were founders.
We were founders. There's a book in my shelf. To prove.
You got the book. So we're gonna talk about all of it. And to start, for those of you who have no idea about the Substack Comics Initiative, Substack Pro, we're gonna cover it a little bit. I'm not gonna get super in the detail. Well, maybe we will. I don't know yet. I don't know the future. So basically, for your information, and if you do want to read up on it a little bit more, there is Graham. It's Graham, single name person. I'm just kidding. Graham McMillan obviously wrote a piece in June 2021 that covers basically why all of the ickiness about Substack, and also is really where this story starts. In June 2021, Nick Spencer was announced as the Substack comics czar. They were going to pay him a bunch of money to basically create a comics infrastructure within Substack, which is a newsletter platform. And if you're thinking right now, newsletter platform doing comics, it is really stupid. Yeah, correct. And Three Roads, Three Moons is kind of proof of that. So, but Nick Spencer got a bunch of money from Substack and basically immediately got recruiting. We don't know exactly when he approached Hickman, but it's fair to assume that he approached Hickman pretty quickly because they've worked together. And Hickman was extremely hot at the time working on X-Men. So all creators that Spencer approached were given freely some multiple of $100,000. There's been different reports. I've heard somewhere around $400,000-500,000 for Three Roads, Three Moons. Interesting thing about Three Roads, Three Moons itself is that Hickman and Del Mundo were actually teeing up a Kickstarter to create this universe at the time. So Hickman was already, they were already kind of cooking. It wasn't ready to launch or anything like that. But those two were together and they were forming what this thing was. Spencer approached them kind of out of the blue, offered Hickman money. I'm pretty sure it was Hickman. And Hickman said, well, if we're going to do this, I have something in mind. We haven't started on it yet. And then they got to talking. They're like, we need another guy. So Hickman actually grabbed Huddleston while he was working on the last issue of Decorum. Huddleston stopped working on the last issue of Decorum and started working on Three Worlds, Three Moons, on the first comic for Three Worlds, Three Moons instead. The timeline on that is really fun. Decorum 7 came out I think March 2021. The first comic for Three Worlds, Three Moons comes out August 8th, 2021. The last issue of Decorum comes out November 24th. So they talk about this stuff in interviews and it's like, yeah, you literally can see, he dipped from Decorum. There's a long hiatus, pretty long hiatus, not the longest of Hickman's career or anything, but
actually relatively short in the grand scale of Hickman's career.
truly. But no, it's really funny. You could see that happen just in publication dates. But yeah, so they formed the three, a bunch of stuff, Substack was very aggressive about when they wanted to start, right? Nick was announced as the guy June. By August, these newsletters opened up. And end of August, they had a comic even. But, as we'll, I'm sure, discuss, the newsletter, the fucking newsletter was very dry for quite some time because Huddleston and Del Mundo were just doing concept work because they hadn't done any yet, because they hadn't even started making the comic until they had the money from Substack, basically. And so, yeah, August it launches. It's the most successful one. And from there, we're 5 years in. And they're making comics now. And they have been. You have anything to add to any of that, Lan?
Aside from the different ventures within, these past 4 going on 5 years now, them opening up an app, them bringing in, very specific people. There's one in particular that we should talk about.
Right.
Just about at the halfway mark. And there's one specific thing that actually just wrapped up this month as we're recording this that really perplexes me.
Are you talking about the competition?
Yes, I am talking about the competition.
Did you read those comics?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, let's talk about I'm so excited because this is one of the things. I wasn't going to talk about this at all. I wasn't going to read those comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I ended up doing the competition is because I finished everything else last weekend. Right. I was just I was done and I was just kind of I feel like I should spend more time with the actual newsletter part of this thing because, I got into it, got into the index and downloaded all the collections. And I went and found the loose comics, and the competition was just, it was kind of bugging me that I didn't touch it at all. So I got the comics in and I read them and I was like, damn, these are pretty good. And then I went back and I read all of the competition posts. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
this is like, crazy. I can't.
It's crazy. And it's crazy to think that like that is the hallmark of what this has become 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
Right. I guess, like, you know what? Let's start with the Substack of it all, because, you know, the move for a newsletter company to go into comics obviously is going to raise some eyebrows, right? And I think back in 2021, because we were there at the start, you know, we did subscribe annually from the very beginning, just to see, you know, like what it would become. Curiosity. And you know, I think after reading a lot of the work here, I just can't believe that they ever thought that newsletter comics were a viable like thing, like a viable option. Because I'm a guy with a fairly active inbox. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. Yeah. It's actually very much a curse. You know, I already have enough newsletters coming into my inbox as is. The thought of reading something like Academy on a week-to-week basis, having it come into my inbox, and just how small it is. Like I do like small updates, and I do like the fact that Epting's being given the time to work on stuff like that. Or it goes for all the artists, really. But
awesome, like, art too. Like, to be,
you know, that's the thing that really pissed me off the most about this. I was thinking very recently, you know, like, where have all the good artists gone? You know, it seems as though we're in a dearth of. It seems as though we're in a dearth of good artists in the big two right now. What's going on? And then I open up Three Worlds, Three Moons, and I go, "Oh, that's where they've gone. That's where they are."
Yeah. No, I the delivery method is horrible. Also, I mean, there's no good way to read any of these in the newsletters either.
Yeah, no, like you know, just to jump the gun here a bit on the print editions, I think they are being made with print in mind.
You
know, like,
there's no way they're not. Yeah,
they all read the best in print. So
or on in print dimensions.
Right, in print dimensions, like
because,
like, so for instance, I don't know, a CBR file. Right.
They offer it. So
they offer it. Not like I'm not being flippant. Stolen. Like, that's just how. It's just how they offer it. But
I normally don't outwardly say these weren't stolen, but
these weren't stolen. What can I say? You know, like, these peace and love. You know, this does put us in a very morally compromised situation, given, you know, who the money's going to.
We gave Nazis money for no good reason, but
if it's any consolation, though, it was only $8, and of those $8, 7 of them are going to Jonathan Hickman and company. So, you know, I just wanted to give him a little bit of walking around money.
It's so true.
As that one classic strip says. But yeah, like, it really does feel like the newsletter aspect of it is a stopgap. And even you know, the Substack of it all, like, even with that and the whole of that, the newsletters feel very ancillary.
Yeah, so this is like, this is one of the main problems with this thing, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. I think I appreciate this in an academic sense, and I still think it's stupid. Okay, what I'm about to say. These guys take so long to make a comic.
Oh, I mean, I was looking at the dates when I was reading the Academy one. I was like, okay, first view coming 2023. I'm starting to see it bleed into 2024. I'm like, that's kind of crazy, you know, like, with how much, how little the
publication dates on these things are crazy. And like, Huddleston and Belmundo, all they're just concept artists, right?
Yeah,
they're not. Del Mundo is barely even doing any work.
Del Mundo got the one comic in, I think, but.
No, sorry. I'm talking about outside of Three Worlds, Three Moons, though.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Okay.
They both have done a little bit, right? Huddleston's done like 40 pages of art. Del Mundo's done a lot of covers for the project.
Well, Del Mundo's been
like
doing a lot of work outside of comics too. He did the cover for Freddie Gibbs's "You Only Die Once."
Yeah, and that's what I was meaning. Like he's doing work outside of Three Worlds, Three Moons more. But like it's insane to me to think that this is a full-time job and they're not like Shift, the main, Huddleston and Del Mundo comics that they announced those October 2024 and they're still not out. They're going to be year 4 rewards. So like, you've been a member for the full year 4, you're going to get these. And I think they might've been part of the Kickstarter, which, newsflash, 3 Worlds, 3 Moons on Substack and Kickstarter. Hilarious a little bit to me. But like, it takes them so long. Even the competition is a good example of this too, because where they started picking people at the end of 2022 for it. The winners were chosen in July 2023. Nothing was published until this year.
As late as last month.
Now. Yeah. Like I think this month, the last one came out. I think the last one came out like the first or second week of this month.
Oh my God.
It takes these guys so long to make a comic. And like, I'm not 100% sure why. They're designing very intricately.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking about is like with how much Hickman is still doing at Marvel,
Yeah.
Like whenever I read an Ultimate Spider-Man comic or I read an issue of Imperial, I'm thinking, what's 3 Worlds, 3 Moons doing while this is happening? Like when Hickman's going all, it's just like he's going to these Marvel summits, and I'm just thinking, 3 Worlds, 3 Moons. How's that going? Because I didn't check in. I haven't checked. This is the first time I'm checking in. This is the first time I even opened the book that's been on my shelf since 2022. All right. So for me, it's like I have no idea. It's to use a Hickman-esque anthology or analogy here. It's as though the city was closed for 2 years. And now the city is reopening, and I'm looking to see what 2,000 years of progress look like.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. Like when we left off, what was it, 2022? That we were like, you know what, this is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
we've seen all we need to see. We've given all the money we need to give.
Soon. Yeah.
Actually, by that point, I'm pretty sure all the money was going straight to Hickman, so money wasn't compromised then. I don't know if I'm making excuses for us.
No,
right now.
I think we're wrong. I think you're wrong.
You think
because I think that first year they got the money up front, but it was the opposite ratio.
It was the opposite. So 90% was going to Substack. So we gave more like money $70 to Nazis.
To Substack.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, we
did that.
There's no,
but
listen,
we know our ethical
there's really
reasons.
We can't, there's no ethical consumption out of this. We just did, like, it just happened,
We were fervent, I mean, is it better or worse than giving money to Warner Brothers? I don't know.
I mean, that also speaks to another huge element of this, and this goes back to the competition element too, is like, with 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, you're not there just for the comics.
No.
And I don't know how many other Substacks you've been in or, have been following, but like a huge portion of this is also selling people on the parasocial aspect of it.
Yes.
In Scott Snyder's Substack, that was literally him,
it's a teaching
doing
class.
classes.
It's a class.
Yeah. So, which brings, average subscribers close to him, and he chose people from that. Very similar to what happened with competition here. But it feeds.
At least it was on the front, on the face, though, right? Like, the purpose of that one was learn from Scott Snyder and get published.
Right.
Like be in a book. It's for that purpose, right? It's not the competition. So I have a quote from it was I think it was last year's like end of year thing post. It was their end of year newsletter where they were like, look at us now, we're really gearing up to be doing real comics, the source books, blah, blah, whatever. This is the quote that I was like, this needs to be talked about, though. The twin goals were to build a universe that could outlive us and to build it around in collaboration with a community. So, which like you read the source books and stuff, and I do feel like there's a quality of they want to build their shared universe. They want to build their Marvel. They want to build their DC, right? I think there's a quality of that, and it feels intentional.
I mean, even everything with the Legends side of things, right? Like from the very beginning, you know, when Hickman was inviting Rom V, Al Ewing, Tinny Howard to help build out the universe, I think there is that element of collaboration, which I think is cool. You know, I think when I was reading the Legends stuff, especially, the thing that I was thinking about was, unsurprisingly, Star Wars, right? Because, you know, there is the Skywalker saga, which in this case is the Valor saga, I guess. And then there's stuff that happens within the universe and deals with concepts that were established. So there is that element of it. But it's also weird because this is, at the end of the day, it's still an intellectual property of Hickman, Del Mundo, and Huddleston, right? The Three Worlds, Three Moons team. I don't know how much stake Sasha Head has in that. And Nick Spencer, who, by the way, on his Twitter, which surprisingly is active, or I should say unsurprisingly, you know, given the way Twitter is nowadays, shouldn't be surprised that Spencer's back on there. Nazi Nick's back on the Nazi platform. Who could have guessed? On his Twitter, in his Twitter bio, he does list himself as a co-founder of Three Worlds, Three Moons. Right. Yeah. So some of that's going to him as well.
He's co-writing. They're doing two big books. I can't remember which.
So you mentioned that, but I couldn't find any trace of that in the.
Okay. I mean, if you want to search it, if you are there, you could look up Arrivals.
Okay.
Arrivals is, and then I think Shift. I think Shift is Del Mundo, and Arrivals.
Right. They did announce that as being part of the Kickstarter thing, right?
Yes, I think so.
Arrivals. Announcing Arrivals. Announced just over a year ago. Okay.
And so I think Arrivals is a collection of... No, Arrivals is the next step of part of the story.
A 96-page introductory issue written by Jonathan Hickman and Nick Spencer, art by Mike Huddleston, and special guests.
Yeah, that's
More
why I was bringing
soon.
it up. Because
and then there's
Nick
nothing
Spencer is a co-writer on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So nothing yet. They're almost done. I think there was an update recently. They're almost done with it.
Okay.
The other artists are all on and almost done with their art or something like that. But yeah, no, Nick Spencer is definitely like, he hasn't, I don't know what he's been doing, but like he's going to.
The thing is, 96 pages over a year though.
I mean, I think, yeah,
like
but it's not
over
one
a year,
artist.
You know, like
it's not one artist.
The assumption is, again, it's just the 96 pages is what, 4 issues worth of content. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
which, I mean, we've definitely reached a point where artists are slower than ever.
Like, yeah, but I mean, I'm not slow enough to only do 4 issues. I don't know. It's just I think it does go back to the slowness thing we were talking about before.
Yes, it absolutely.
If you really think about it, Nick Spencer, who hasn't had a job in Big 2 Comics in 4 years,
in some time.
Literally since he's finished Amazing Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's come back for anything since. You know, he's co-writing this, so you at least have that, and then you have another person in this whole thing who I also want to talk about, who joined in 2022.
Let's talk about the whole team though, because there's changes to that, because they have a whole team.
There is like in all the source books and whatnot, they're credited as the Three Worlds, Three Moons team.
Yeah. It's like, and it's a company, Three Worlds, Three Moons. This is another interesting thing that I kind of wanted to, I wanted to mention earlier, but I forgot. So the part of the sign up process for them too, like the payout from Substack goes to the company Three Worlds, Three Moons, which is co-owned by Hickman, Del Mundo, and Huddleston. People talked about, Substack is only doing the writers, and I think a lot of writers were more thoughtful than we think they were. about sharing with the artists. I know I'm not giving shouts to anybody else. I don't care. But this one is very deliberately Three Worlds, Three Moons is the Substack, and it is those three primarily. Which, you know, I tried to listen to as many interviews as I could to try to figure out what their like labor split is, and it's obvious. Like Del Mundo and Huddleston are doing all the concept work. Hickman doesn't even really ask them to do anything else. He picked them because he likes their art and he likes their brains and he likes what they do. And then Hickman writes the stuff. It really isn't like Hickman's not designing spaceships or anything like that for this.
Hickman did do the one comic, and I think that's about it, right?
Yeah,
like in terms of true artistic input.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, which who knows how any of that goes, but basically, you know, their workload separates out the way you expect it to. And then you go, how have they not made comics yet? How is it? How has so little been made?
Because I started reading this over the past week, right? Because I'm a busy guy. And Keigen, I was really just waiting on Keigen to give me a proper list of things to read. Fair. But then, what was it, last Saturday or Sunday when we were recording, you're like, okay, you have to get to this because there's going to be a lot of reading, like real people reading, you know, not comics reading. Shout out Big Gleb. I mean, there is a lot of words to read, but I was kind of surprised by how little I actually had to read, you know?
I was thinking about this yesterday on my way home from work too, because, you know, just thinking about how this episode is going to go. And like half of the source book pages are in the fake cipher letters, you know? So much of the space is taken up by Hickman's dumb cipher bullshit that he does in every book.
You know, I think that's the thing that pisses me off is the language is just another cipher.
We
can't keep doing this, Hickman.
Let's put that off.
Okay, I think we can leave that
for the actual comic stuff, because I agree. Okay. Obviously, I said that with Krakoa too. It's stupid.
Right.
So let's talk about the rest of the team though. So you want to talk about Steve Wacker, right?
I do want to talk about Steve Wacker because around the time that this was announced, Salt and I, around the time this was announced, Salt and I had just started this podcast, right? Midnight Grappler Animals. And I remembered that happened when we were doing our Superior Spider-Man read through in 2023. Was that 2024? I think it was 2023. It's pretty early in the podcast. Go listen to those episodes. They're good episodes.
They're very fun.
But, you know, the editor of the Spider-Man comics at that time was Stephen Wacker. And, you know, I think either during that episode or after we recorded it, I was like, what is Stephen Wacker up to? Because you know what? All things considered, not a bad editor.
He's a good editor. He is.
He's pretty good, all things considered. Yeah. And then I, searched him up, and then I remembered, oh yeah, he's over at Substack right now under Three Worlds, Three Moons. Yeah.
So did you know that he got replaced though?
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't either. I didn't know he got replaced until like this week. I didn't realize. Like, if you
when did this happen?
I think he was only EIC for 1 year.
No way.
It's been Molly Mahan the whole rest of the time. If you open the Legends file,
I mean, I do. Yeah, like I in the Legends file, I do see Wacker, Mahan,
yeah. So he
Rob
edited
Levin.
Some of that stuff, but these things take so long for them to make.
Oh.
that there were some comics edited by him and some by her. Yeah, no, she came on and there was like a handoff period where they were both working for the company,
right?
But then he left. I don't even know. He's hopefully just enjoying Hawkeye money or whatever.
Oh, so
this is legitimately a thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode anyway. So
it's great. It's great. It's just
this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yes. Yeah. No. Literally, that is the first time I'm hearing about this. So you're finding out alongside me on this recording.
Yeah. No, I had a similar reaction because I mean, I also I don't understand what Wacker was really doing. Molly Mahan has a lot more history in like project development. She comes from, she did the Sandman Universe stuff at DC, I believe, and then she was at one of the video game companies that do comics and tangential stuff. And I don't want to say one because so many of them are Nazis that what if I accidentally say a Nazi one and she wasn't working for Nazis? I can't remember.
It's just that now, you know, this is, I mean, really, if you think about it, now she is. So like, does it really matter?
Yeah, true. Yeah. I feel like it was Riot Games that she was working for, but I don't remember.
Riot Games. Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember. So, but she was helping with project management on that kind of stuff, which really makes sense to me to like pivot.
Oh, she was at DC editorial as well.
Yeah. The Sandman universe. She was one of the managing editors of that. So definitely like, I mean, you know, she's very, she does a lot of posts. She's like, she interviews people, for the newsletter and stuff like that. So, it's cool. You know, she's very front and center in a way that I think everybody probably wanted. Sasha Ehead, obviously, Hickman, like, pays her constantly. I assume she's just on Hickman's payroll.
Yeah, I just have like, because given just how much work that Sasha does,
I think she might design his grocery list. Like it's everything.
Like like the source book that I have, like I would say at least 60% of it is Sasha has just the
makes sense.
The design work.
By volume.
You know?
Yeah. No. Huge part of it, and like it looks good. It looks what I would expect a Jonathan Hickman comic to look like, which really means it looks like a Sasha Ehead comic. She should probably be front loaded in more conversations. And then you mentioned Rob Levin. He's kind of the 1,000-foot guy of the company. You know, he's a little more okay. If we're posting this on this day, like he was one of the people who came in and was like, we need to be posting every day. Like we need comics every week, more than once a week. And so that's his job, is scheduling kind of. Harry Canals, Hank Canals is publishing and operations. He does all the printing and shipping for stuff. And then like Frank J. Barbary made a game for this that I actually didn't get around to. I know. It's
whoa. Okay. Frank J. Barbier did a game.
Was it Barbier?
Yes, Barbier.
Yeah, he made the 13 questions game. Sorry, Barbier. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. I mistyped it.
There's probably like 50 different names we've already mispronounced and didn't know. That's
fair. Okay. He made it's a game that's from one of the planets or the moons, whatever, one of the worlds of the moons. Okay. It's 13 questions to like figure out your future. It's like what is it, like a narrative, like it's a visual novel. It's like a visual novel with choices, you know. I think when I did all my notes, I couldn't access it, and then the support team got me into that app, and that's the only place you can access the game.
Games in the app. Okay, so
the game used to be hosted. It used to be hosted somewhere, but once the app was live, it's only hosted on the app. Which is a good opportunity to talk about the app. And one of my big complaints about this whole thing, actually, even though we've been complaining the whole time. So they have an app. They have an app now.
They have an app. Yes. They have an app and they have a storefront.
Yeah, the storefront I have similar complaints about, actually.
Yes.
The storefront like didn't work for me. Could you click in and buy stuff?
No, every time it would just redirect me to put in a password, and even after I had signed up, there was no password. So I think it's either for an annual subscriber, but this one says it's for all paid subscribers.
All paid subscribers. Yeah, it's very frustrating. And I'll get to that with that, because the app, as soon as I saw there was an app, I was like, I want to mess around with the app as much as possible. I want to see what it is.
If it means I have to use Substack less, I will absolutely use the app.
Yeah, because it sucks. It sucks to read these things. I mean, like, did you click in and try to read the Institute comic on the Substack at all?
I read a lot of things on the Substack app, actually.
Okay.
Foundations, academies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Academy I read on the app. Yeah.
Wait, you use the app?
The Substack app. Substack.
Oh,
not the.
Substack.
I couldn't get into the Three World Three
Moons app. Right?
No, I couldn't.
So if the Institute comic, which you didn't have to read, it's Phil Hester, which is cool. I was like, I'm not downloading another page by page fucking comic for this thing, right? I already did. I downloaded 40 pages to read Academy. This is dumb, and I'm tired of doing this, right? Because you have to download their page a day comics or page a week comics. Dear listener, you have to download them one at a time in order to have like a real readable version of it. Otherwise, you're reading it in your browser in a PDF format, which is not horrible, but it's also like you can't go to the next one quickly. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the next one quickly, so I downloaded all 40.
Oh, Academy's awful because
Academy is the one I'm talking about.
In Substack, if you want to read it within Substack, you have to click a button, but that next button or the next link isn't in every single page. I think like 12 issues or 12 iterations and 12 missives in, we'll say 12 missives in, it just goes to the top. So then you have to scroll all the way back up. Once you've done reading it, you have to go all the way back up, click next. Again, Substack, the application just doesn't feel conducively made for comics.
It's bad for comics. The other thing about the Academy, and this will wrap back around to being about the app, I promise. The first, I think 10, they didn't name the files. They're just random letters. Probably not random, right? Yeah. It's probably communicating something, which means I downloaded it, changed the name so that I wouldn't lose track, because I wasn't downloading reading 1, downloading reading 2. No, I'm downloading 40 to read 40 in a row. So I had to change the name on them, and then it was awful. It's awful. And then on top of that, the actual Academy at least has its own page, right, where you can go 1 through, I think it's 36, and then you have to go back to the main page to read 37, 38, 39, and 40.
Oh, fuck me.
It's stupid, dude.
I didn't know there was a 37, 38, 39, 40.
Yeah. So you're missing a couple pages. Sorry. A little bit more happens. It makes more sense that they took a big hiatus at that point if you get to 40, because they haven't published for a couple months on that one. But he's working on it.
It's funny. There's at least 2 or 3 posts that says Academy is coming back.
Oh yeah. When we actually talk about Academy, I have timelines and stuff. But the way this relates to the app is that the app is just for reading comics.
That's it.
The app just exists to read the comics. It does have the storefront as well, actually, so you can access the storefront from the app as well.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's like how comics used to be, when every company had their own reader and you could actually read digital comics in a good non-Kindle way. Yeah, it's and so in that way it's cool. But when you first sign up, you have to be manually.
Yeah, I did read that they had to. They track this using a spreadsheet, and they manually add you to the spreadsheet.
That's
so that you can get access.
Stupid. Yeah. So, I got into the Substack early this month, or late last month. I don't know, late September, early October.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much immediately was like, I want to get into the app. So I emailed support, and then I commented in the main chat. I was like, hey, how do I get into the app? It's not accepting my credentials. No answer. I got an answer from a community member, another person, who was like, hey man, they're really busy. The same thing happened to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, it's all about building community.
The
whole thing's about.
I have a job. Okay, I have a job that I'm busy at. Okay, I have a 48-hour required response time to everyone, whether it's staff, whether it's a random inquiry, whether it's a family. I have to answer within 2 business days, right? So if they were to email me on Saturday, I have until Tuesday to reply to emails. What's your company policy on this? 3 Worlds, 3 Moons? Because
what is the callback time?
They didn't get back to me for 2 weeks, and that wasn't until after I canceled. So because you can cancel the repayment option, right? I canceled it, and I said, This goes into my final thoughts a little bit. So here's a little preview. But I said, this project has all of the flaws of the DM of the direct market, except for I could get more help from a comic book store owner. I got a response like within hours. They added me to the app. It doesn't mean there's
you
causation
had to Karen your way in. You had to Karen your way in.
I could have been the next ticket, right? It's possible that, their ticket time is 2 weeks long, whatever. But literally it was hours later that they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And there was a response to my support, which I had also followed up on, right? I clicked the little follow-up thing. My email told me, hey, follow up on this. You haven't gotten a reply. Which actually did again because I was asking them about if I could access the live stream stuff at all. They never replied that one. So I did Karen my way in. I did get into the app. And yeah, it's just for reading the comics.
Worth it?
And it presents it the right way. It presents it, the Institute, right? I was talking about the Institute, asking you if you did that. If you read it on Substack, it's like 3 panels and all the dialogue. It's almost, you can't even, it doesn't make sense almost.
Right. I mean, for academies, it was reformatted in a way that's very akin to like the Marvel Infinite comics.
Yeah, like a scroll, like an infinite scroll.
It was made for a scroll. Yeah.
Valar's is like that too. Valar's is I can see it working both ways. I didn't read it that way. I would rather read Jason Howard's art in comic page dimensions.
Like in Transformers. Actually, I forgot if he did Transformers, but he was.
I forget.
Good art though. Good art though. Just I like my comic thoughts here.
With the Institute though, it's Phil Hester, and he's doing these awesome double page spreads, just like F-Team, and they're like these cool, like foreground, background layouts. Not anything like incredibly like experimental or anything like that, just like cool looking art, right? Hester and Belair. And it's like you open the app and you can see that. And it's crazy to me that they're not like telling everyone and getting everyone into the app so that they can experience the comic in a better way, even though more than likely most people are either not reading or they're already used to downloading or integrating with panels.
They're not reading. They're just giving money because they need the 3 Worlds 3 Moons.
It's the parasocial
need some walking around money.
Yeah, they just no.
I mean, their work.
I like their work. I think they deserve to have a couple dollars.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy because it's like, okay, these are all the ways you could read them. Read the comics. You could read directly on Substack. You can read it in your email. You can download the PDF or the CBR. You can open in panels. There's the app, and then there's a few of the books are in print, right? Every single one has a major drawback. Like, okay, the app, you have to get added to the app. Yeah. Right. Then you have to have an app on your phone for one comic that comes out periodically. Waiting for print, how long? How long are you really waiting for that? The downloading PDFs, the older files have no titles. They have no names. So your storage system is dedicated to renaming or deleting, I guess. Like you could just delete them. That's fine too. That one's obviously, that's my preferred because it feels like the one that is the smallest drawback. And then if you read it directly in Substack or in the email, they just suck. They don't look good. And it's crazy. It's crazy that they offer all of these different ways to read the thing and all of them suck. Like every different way is bad in its own way. And it's like,
I'll say this because speaking to my experience, like, I don't know how you started off, but for me, I started off with the thing that I did have, which was the print book, right? Because being annual subscribers for a year, you got the print book for free with an asterisk, the asterisk being you paid for shipping. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be an annual subscriber in Canada in 2025.
Right.
So I started there. I started with the first source book systems, and my reading experience was actually quite nice. I was in the passenger seat of my car. My brother was learning how to drive, and I was just sitting on the side, just reading systems, the book.
That's awesome.
In my hands, and every now and then I'd say, "Hey, you're going a bit too much into the other lane. Your turns are a bit too wide." But the book is actually quite nice. It's nice. It's very big. The thing you realize is that a lot of these comics were made for print, like we mentioned before. and they look good in print. So, you know, for me, starting in print gave me a good impression of the whole thing, because it's like, as an outsider, you know, you're coming into the print editions and you're like, okay, this is good. And then, you know, because you told me that to really, you know, get a better feel of this episode that we're going to do, I should also look at the stuff that isn't in print or that hasn't been collected. So I signed up for the Substack,
which it was a free gift membership.
It was a free gift membership.
They give away 5 free gift memberships for everyone who pays for one, which is buck wild.
So how could that possibly be profitable?
It doesn't. How could it possibly?
To quote Jesse Plemons here,
it doesn't make any sense. Oh, they're giving this thing away. But anyway.
But yeah, it's a huge stark shift going from one to the other. Partly because you realize how different the experience is. You know, like it's like the books are like dipping your toes. You know, and the actual subscription to the Substack, that's like not just you're going into the water, you're like being shoved into the water. You're like being baptized, but like evil baptized, like evil baptism.
Yeah. Nazi baptism.
That's the same thing. Evil baptism.
Giving it a quality.
Right. But you know, I think that it's crazy because they have. So the thing that I ask Keigen, and you know, like we have our own opinions on reading orders and the existence of people who make reading orders.
Right.
In the case of the 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, though, I feel like a nice, comprehensive, logical reading order would make sense. The nice thing about the source books is, okay, here's everything compiled. We've got, well, everything in quotations. Here's a whole bunch of things that we compiled in a way that makes sense, you know, and fits nicely into a book. So for the first one, systems, it was just going about the systems within that universe. So like politics, magic, science, economics, great stuff for nerds. And in between, there were comics in there. And yeah, it was organized very logically, right? So for someone who's reading just the books, it's pretty simple to follow along. You get into the Substack, though. You're like, okay, where do I start? And there's a post that's pinned at the top that says the index, reading order, and more. And you're like, great, fantastic, that's awesome. And then you look at the posting date, it says January 17th, 2022. Like, that was 3 years ago. I'm sure they've updated it. It's very up to date. And I go in, and you see comics at the top, see Foundations, Breathe, Academy, The Valors. Looks fine. Academy, as I've now found out, isn't up to date with the most recent issue. It's only up to issue 36. Valors is only up to issue 17. After the comic section, because that's all you get in the comic section, right? Foundations, Breathe, Academy, The Valors. That's it. Then you have the Legends. And the Legends section also is like, you know, you've got the comics themselves and then the parts, because some of these were in multiple parts. So you've got Legends Volume 1, which is just the CBR file that we obtained legally. Again, we did read this legally, even though it was a CBR file. Stop the stigmatism.
We cannot
cannot stress enough. We paid money.
Nothing criminal happened.
There was no piracy involved in this entire thing, and I honestly feel like a fucking sucker that there was no piracy involved. Where was I? Right. So Legends Volume 1 makes sense, right? And then you've got pretty much everything that's in Legends Volume 1. You've got Treasure, Havo's Wager, Hair Medicine, The Charlatan Sacrifice, The Hobbler, which is everything in Legends Volume 1. But the thing is, there is a Legends Volume 2, and there are other legends that have been published since then, like for instance the one written by Chris Condon with art by Jacob Phillips, which is called Blood Red Falling Skies. That is not in the index at all.
Not in the index.
Not there. So if you weren't aware that that book exists, the index does not tell you, right? And then you have your source books. You have systems and you have maps. Again, same situation as Legends, where you have the CBR or the PDF, right? A link to that post, and then you have links to the individual posts for each of the stories within them. Again, there's a third source book. There's a third source book, which isn't in this index.
With the third source book, I don't think they've released anything about it, though. I don't think they've even released concept art.
I don't think so, but there is stuff from that source book that has already been released, if I'm not mistaken.
I am not sure that that's true. Because it's histories, and it would have been labeled. The way they've done the rest of the source books is they label it the name of the source book. So if you look up maps in that,
hold on. 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, 3 Years, announcing histories, August 26, 2024. The blah 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 blah. Cis histories will provide whens, and just like it will do so, collecting 6 new comics. We're going a little longer on each. So that initial announcement doesn't mention anything.
The pattern also was I think Maps then Legends, which kind of held a lot of things up, and then they went into Legends 2. Released Legends 2. So and they're changing how they're releasing histories, because the other 2 they released everything about them piecemeal, but they haven't yet for anything for histories that I couldn't find it anyway.
Okay, wait. Foundation, Shift, Rivals, source books. I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now. Systems, maps, more systems, maps, histories. The past is your guide, and it's nothing. Are you serious? Nothing more than that?
Yeah.
Even
it's very weird. I don't know what's up with it.
So forget that part, I guess. The history,
but no,
it exists.
What you're saying is still right. Yeah,
like it exists, but it's just not mentioned.
They do not update the index at all. They only update the index when there's a collection to add to it, which like goes to your point, right? The systems book is good to read. Like
the systems
even
book
the collection,
great to read. Yeah,
the CBR is good to read. I like it. Reading them separately even downloading them separately is still good. I like a lot of the Legends 2 stuff, right? I'm into these as comics, which we're definitely transitioning into that part of this, I think. These comics are pretty good. A lot of them are. A lot of great artists, very cool ideas, very interesting like picking of the ideas by creators that I would expect to pick the things, right? The presentation's horrible, like we've been saying this whole time, and then the index is just like, why not make a good way to interact with this thing?
Like when you said that this has all the problems of the direct market, just with the additional problem, like, yeah, we've now reached the point 5 years in, right, that it is reaching the point that the direct market has is like, where do you onboard readers?
This was one of the reasons why I was flip-flopping on whether I wanted Salt on this episode or not. I didn't expect Salt to read all this. I expected Salt to be like, this is reader hostile, and I really wanted him to say that. But also, even just like if he didn't read anything and we just told him about this, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you doing things this way?
Like, it just doesn't. It's
not intuitive at all.
It's not intuitive, but also it's the fact that like this is also a record of 5 years worth of progress too. Is that, and then, I mentioned before, it's like
so much less of it.
When I went in here, I'm looking at this index, I'm like, this doesn't seem like a lot, especially when each of the issues or each of the missives for something like Academy and the Valors is not long at all, right? It's only like 4 or 5 pages. Even the comics from the source books, those are only like 4 or 5 pages long on average.
Yeah.
Right. So it's it's weird because it's like for someone that's coming in with no knowledge, they're like, okay, so there's a lot to look at, but not like they see the numbers and they're like, oh wow, this is a lot. 36 issues, that's a lot, right? And then you can get through Academy in less than,
in 15 minutes, probably
15, like an hour, like for being generous, an hour.
Yeah, if you're really poring over the Epting pages, which he deserves, right? And it's actually, that's the other thing. Like when you print that comic, it's going to be 80 pages. I'm doing all the math with Academy because
Academy also did the newsprint edition as well,
which is cool. I would like to have that.
Which is also cool.
I would like to own that.
Fantastic comics for the print format is what I'm like really hitting.
It's like,
I have to hit on. Like it
is the direct market too, though.
Yeah.
Like there's no good digital way to read these things because they're intended for print, and it's like this weird gatekeeping. And there's an extra gate with this because you have to be a subscriber, and you have to maybe even be an annual subscriber to actually access the store.
Well, yeah, I mean, for print editions, a lot of these are locked behind the Circle or the annual subscription.
Oh yeah, the collectible stuff in here too, the FOMO that they're manipulating people with it's just the direct market. It's just the direct market, and and like nobody's talking about it because nobody's actually like, who's paying for this? What journalists are paying for this? What critics are paying for this? There's no access, right? No, they're not giving this away for free to anybody to review either.
No one's really doing investigative journalism into, and I mean, the state of Substack, but even comics just like
basic criticism, right? Like people say nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about this because nobody's talking about it, right? And yeah, all of that stuff just like really bubbles to the surface when you're looking at it. And yeah, I mean, like the speed thing too. I just thought of this while you're talking, where you're saying like, how much are you really doing, right? And it's like, I know we make fun of John Romita Jr. for still working in comics to the degree that he does, right? Like, old man, kick back, dude, right? John Romita Jr. is drawing like 10 comics a year, dog. John Romita Jr. is drawing 200 pages of comic books.
Yeah.
What are we doing here at Three Worlds, Three Moons? Like, what are we doing that 100 pages by multiple artists is too difficult? It's crazy to me. Like, there's a certain point where, and I don't want to rush art. I'm not trying to ask for the monthly grind or anything like that either, right? My genuinely, from artists that I love, all I want is like 100 good pages of art at their pace. If they announce a project, hopefully that 100 pages of art comes out in about a year, right? But I also am like, if you're a company who has access to these guys, why don't you have a quarterly book, right? Like, that you planned out a year ago, Now we have 100 pages every quarter. That feels more like a chunk, but it's like the release mechanism is terrible for this too. It's just all, it's crazy.
The thing that I find myself thinking about is that, like, yeah, we mentioned before that like Hickman's working on other stuff. Del Mundo's working on other stuff. Huddleston is presumably also working on other stuff, right? So then it becomes a matter of priorities, right? Like, what is the priority for Hickman as a writer right now? Is Three Worlds, Three Moon at the top, or is it the stuff that he's doing at Marvel right now? Or is it, the third thing, the mysterious third thing that I'm sure we'll find out over the course of
his fake Star Trek comic.
Right, his Legion of Superheroes comic that he's been vying for his entire career.
Oh, right. See, he's gonna draw Legion of Superheroes for Joshua Williamson is what's gonna happen. Imagine.
Let me quickly wash that out of my mind. Anyway, priorities, yeah. Right? Like, what are the priorities? And this isn't just a question for Three Worlds, Three Moons. This is a question for really everyone doing Substack comics right now. The people that are still doing Substack comics right now. What are the priorities? Are you building something outright with what you're doing? And if so, is that the top priority for you? Like, if building out Three Worlds, Three Moons is not just a company, but like a concept and a shared universe is your goal, should that be your top priority? And I don't know, like everything that I've seen from the output of the past 5 years doesn't really point to that being the case. Like, for instance, there have been creators that have left Big Two Comics, that have even left the direct market to form their own, I don't want to call cults, but like followings.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay.
Right, followings. Yeah. Like the fact that Brubaker hasn't written anything for DC or Marvel in quite some time, like as an ongoing. But whenever Brubaker and Phillips come out with a new comic, it's always sold out. People are always, they have a significant following. And, I think the other thing that I think about is like creators get older, right? And when we don't have an exit strategy from Big Two Comics in the direct market, what we're ending up with is something like, I don't know, Scott Snyder coming back to write Batman 16 years after his first Batman comic. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like the trajectory of a comics creator in the modern day is very nebulous. There is no set, this is how things should go. And, even the much older creators, right? Like we're still trying to figure out what
you look at Claremont. Like
you look at your Claremonts, you look at your Jam DeMatteis, even like DeMatteis is doing his Kickstarter, but he's also doing like his minis at Marvel.
His old man books.
Yeah, good for him. Spider-Man 94, not for me, but the other ones were. But yeah, like it's about the trajectory, and I think when I think about Hickman, a guy who has taken a huge hiatus from Marvel in the past, I
did nothing with it, like, and that's the whole thing. I think.
It feels like there was a point in time where he was using that to leverage his indie career, right? With stuff like Black Monday Murders, Red Mass for Mars, on Mars, the Manhattan Projects, Black Monday Murders, and then the other ones that people don't care about. It really felt like he was fostering. Oh shit, East of West. Sorry. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
East of West is a weird one though, because it launched when he was still working on Avengers. So
but that's what I mean. It feels like an off ramp.
But yeah,
right. Like it feels like something. Right, should have been. It feels like something akin to what Criminal was for Brubaker.
I mean, also I want to say, like, I love that you're picking Brubaker as the like proof of concept here.
It's the only one I can come to mind. I'm sure there's
Kirkman, right? Like Kirkman is Kirkman, it's the Kirkman manifesto. And like the crazy thing about Kirkman is he built that into so much power that he owns the idea of Transformers in comics right now. Right?
Yeah,
like he went all the way around from being like this, middling Big Two guy to like he's the editor on the thing that's changing comics.
Amazon
right
Prime video deals. He's got Universal Monsters and the Energon universe. And
I'm not saying like that's what you should aspire to be.
I mean it is very downstream of the initial image thing it's a very libertarian thing. Yeah, and I think
I'm also go ahead.
No, I mean, like Substack as a whole, again, it is very in line with that original image mindset, that libertarian mindset of you can build your own audience. We're giving you the tools to build your own audience, leverage that parasociality, which we'll get back to, and leverage that towards making yourself that kind of wealth.
Yeah. Okay. One thing about the Substack thing that I do think it's under discussed is that you become an employee of Substack basically, which they give you insurance.
What?
So like you get insurance, dog. You get insurance. If you're a Substack Pro, you get insurance. Yes. And I think that's ongoing. I think that's as long as you have the newsletter.
Oh my God.
I don't know. We would have to talk to a friend of the podcast to understand it, but I've seen it reported. I've seen it reported that if you are part of the Substack Pro stuff, you're insured. So like for American cartoonists especially, or American anybody, that's a big deal. That's a big part of it.
Of course.
Or it could be, but the other thing is, right, we're comparing Hickman to all these different previous guys, and then the wild thing about Three Worlds, Three Moons is it feels like he's trying to do the same thing as Tynion, right? Like the parasocial aspect of it, wanting to foster community and stuff like that is, and then like also building this empire. It's almost like he wanted to build it around this one concept universe instead of building it around a cult of personality or parasociality. And like it just kind of fails on every level. Like it almost makes Tynion look smart because he did leverage it in that way, like,
okay, wait, Tynion, so go tell me, like, how did Tynion do that?
Well, I mean, he built the empire of Tiny Onion through like it started before, right? It started with razor blades. It started with little merch stuff and something is killing the children and the bandana and stuff like that. But he took the Substack money and he funneled it into his own work. And like, regardless of my opinions on his work, he is the most successful mainstream comics creator right now. I don't
getting Murdoch money.
Arguable.
He is getting Murdoch money.
I mean, yeah, he's getting Murdoch. He's getting movie money all over the place.
That's what I mean. Well, like the movie money is Murdoch money.
I mean, he kickstarted. Yeah, right. He kickstarted the Vertigo revival. Vertigo revival doesn't happen without him. Yeah, right. And like he's getting
much to think about with that. Actually,
he's getting a great deal through that too. I guarantee it. I bet his deal with Vertigo is better than maybe anyone's ever. Like he made that a thing, and like he has leveraged it into success on multiple areas, and he's doing whatever he wants, and a lot of that is bullshit. A lot of it is not good comics or anything like that. But like, it feels like as an endeavor. Not creatively necessarily, but in all of the other ways that it feels like Three Worlds, Three Moons wanted to do, it feels like he did a better job, including becoming like more independent creator, right? Like, sure, Hickman, quote unquote, wanted to do Wolverine Revenge, but it doesn't feel like he did. Versus Tynion, where it feels like everything he's doing, he wants to do,
Yeah, for better or worse.
Yeah, not again. Dog shit comics, but like this is really just a comparison of the effect, the end result of the things. And like Tynion also put way more comics out. He put more money in more creators' hands, I guarantee, through his Substack stuff too. And he just like got to making things in a way that this doesn't feel like it's like ever actually gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the thing that I think about, especially in comparison to Tynion's work, is that like this is the only other major network, as it were, on Substack right now. Like all the other Substacks are individuals. You have your Starskys and your Morrisons, and your Morrison AIs. Who even knows that it's actually Substacks. Morrison writing those?
Chat GP Morrison.
11th hour.
Chat Grant PT.
But this is the only other major network, right, that we have.
Right.
And it's so weird to think that it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't, I don't know. Commitment, passion, I don't know, like there's something very lacking about it, and I don't know if that is specifically related to the Substack of it all, or if it is just like we would have these same problems even if it wasn't on Substack.
No, you know what, that actually, that you reminded me of the reason I was really bringing up Tynion though, because it's like he's in his bag. That's the other thing. He is in his fucking bag. Like, okay, they announced something is killing the Swamp Thing. Do you know about this? Is this
I did. Yeah, I did know about this. Yeah.
Okay. Something is killing the Swamp Thing. That's absolutely, he pitched that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody asked for that.
Nobody.
He approached somebody.
Recession indicator, right? By the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Exquisite Corpses. The Dracula book. everything. Department of Truth continuing and bringing Snyder in for the Elvis story. All of it. He's in his bag. Three Roads, Three Moons doesn't feel like Hickman's in his bag. Like it feels like all of these projects, whether Tynion is putting them in through Vertigo, putting them through Distillery, putting them through Image, Dark Horse, whatever. This is a full commitment to his future, to what he wants to do, to himself, to his creative impulses, for better or for worse. Three Roads, Three Moons doesn't feel like there's that commitment there from Hickman. I feel like there's commitment
compared to his other indie works, right? Like that stretch of time when he was putting out like just an insane volume of indie work with
like Black Monday Murders is insanely him. I think Manhattan Projects too. It's really unfortunate what happened with Nick Pitara, but like that's hugely Hickman bullshit. I mean, there's other ones. A lot of his books got their problem with like Bodenheim passing away was like that sucks. There's nothing anybody could have done about it, and it's stupid to frame it as a comic book thing. So that was just a hard thing to deal with, I'm sure. But like Three Roads, Three Moons does kind of remind me of East of West though, because it's like that's the one that I feel like Hickman's not in his bag as much. That feels like it's a 60% Dragata comic and a 40% Hickman. Yeah. And I mean, part of that is because Dragata wrote a lot of those issues. Yeah. So,
I mean, it's funny you say that because, like, very much Three Worlds, Three Moons, from a conceptual level, feels like a Del Mundo and Huddleston project, right? Like
that's the next part of this conversation. I think literally is like I think they are in there. I think they are fully in on this. Yeah, and it feels like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Del Mundo and Huddleston are putting out some fantastic work. When I what was it, Foundations? There's that part that Del Mundo does that is like, holy crap, that's fantastic. Holy crap, that's amazing.
With face comes
with
off,
the face melting off. Oh, and the face peels off. Perfect. Huddleston God, so also good. With what was it, Sig the Stag?
Yeah.
Right. That there's that one spread that he does. Oh, beautiful work. They're in their bag, I would say. Like I commitment. Again, I'm not gonna make assumptions about like how committed any of these guys are, but like in terms of feeling like there is work put in, like the amount of like effort, I guess, I don't know, like it really feels like Del Mundo and Huddleston are really doing some fantastic work, and that doesn't feel like it's just an assignment. Right. Like it doesn't feel like they're doing this for a contract in a way that a lot of Hickman's work as of recently feels, not just on the indie side of things, but even on the Marvel side of things, like Wolverine Revenge, like you mentioned, that feels like a contract book. Avengers, funny enough, Aliens versus Avengers feels like less of a contractually obligated book than that one does.
Well, like he's doing long shots with Dugan, and I'm like, how did you end up having to do that?
Yeah, what put you in that position? Like that. It feels like, I don't know, if Three Worlds, not if just that Three Worlds, Three Moons was bigger, but that it was more of a major push, like a big thing, for Hickman. I don't know if we'd be seeing stuff like long shots. Like, again, I can't make assumptions for what's going through Hickman's mind. Maybe Hickman actually just really does like writing long shots. I don't know. But I don't know. It feels, the balance feels weird to me. That's what it is. The balance feels weird to me.
I'm also thinking about, getting to the source books. It's like, he's clearly doing a lot of work with the source books, right? Like he's coming up with these things, he's farmed out some of the work to others, right? The religions, the economy.
I mean, that's another aspect of it, is like the source books don't have Hickman's responses, because if you look in the index, one thing they're actually really good at is so there's a section called world building, which is stuff that goes in the source books. For each one, economics, religion, and magic, which were given out to Ram V, Al Ewing, and Teeny Howard, respectively. There's their their proposal, I guess, their idea of what each of these things should be, and then there's Hickman's responses to them. And I find that so fascinating, and like the conversational aspect of it. But that's not in the source book whatsoever.
I don't know. Did the source books get edited though?
I mean, I would have to believe,
because it's like, right? I'm guessing the final result is something between that conversation, right? That like, I read what Howard wrote, and now I'm I'd
have to like cross-reference it specifically. Yeah. But I mean, I'm
guessing that's how it is, just because it's all so public that like.
Yeah, but also, I mean, that conversational aspect, like with the source books being, like, I think of it this way: like if Three Worlds, Three Moons is like a planet, right?
Oh, okay.
A world, if you will, right? The source books feel like rockets, like oh god, what is it, Voyager, right? That has the disc with all the things about humanity on it. The gold disc.
Yeah.
That's what the source books feel like, right? Like it loses out on a lot of these conversational aspects, a lot of the parasocial aspects, again, in favor of giving like a cleanly edited missive, kind of. Like it's oh god, it's a package, like this is what Three Worlds, Three Moons has accomplished within the past year. Right.
There's a quality to the source books that the prose is really boring. Right.
Yeah.
Like it's very dry, I should say. And I think like reading the whole book it's very dry because it's not telling a story. It's a source book. It's world building, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like that's where I think Legends plugs the holes of that stuff, where it's just like, okay, now I see how this is a story. And so even, you were talking about reading orders earlier and stuff like that. I would hope with Three Worlds, Three Moons, eventually down the line, the source books are like for the real freaks. Like the source books are for people who are really, wanting to experience the thing. And it's unfortunate. And I think there is a genuine archival issue with this whole project too. It's unfortunate though that they won't be able to experience or even understand at all the parasocial part of it, because I think it is really important. Like, again, we really followed like 50 tangents in a row, but like the competition is like such a good like microcosm of all of the things that we're talking about. Because like what it took forever.
Like it to me, it feels like the apotheosis of what Substack comics are.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like everything about it condensed and like at its like peak.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to run through the competition and talk about it, and then I think we'll just let's just cover comics that we liked out of it, if you have any that then we can kind of wrap up. But to start with the competition, so the competition is what it sounds like. They put out an official like pitch or a request for pitches from the community.
From the community,
and they, people who belong to or were members of I guess belong to Three Worlds, Three Moons were encouraged to submit pitches. Short ones. It wasn't like full pages or anything like that, because eventually they actually develop it. It's very much in a way of like they called it a new writer talent search. And so they did. Hundreds were submitted. It definitely ended up taking much longer because of the number of people who pitched. Hickman read through all of them. The team read through all of them, voted on them. They whittled them down to 10 for round one. Round one, they just publicly kind of read the pitches and talked about what they liked, what they didn't like about them. Then 7 got through the pitch stage. So then everybody, the 7 that escaped that round, wrote a full scene. And then Hickman publicly edited those scenes and said, this is going to be hard for an artist, so whatever. It was only supposed to be 1 winner, but they got it down to 3. So once they got through the scenes, once they got through, like, there was a full page pitch and then scenes, They got it down to 3, and they were like, you know what, these 3 are going to win. Those 3 got paid $3,000 each, and
$3,000 each.
Yeah, and then the 3 Worlds, 3 Moons chose the artists, so they had artists lined up to do these books. Then once those 3 finished their entire script, again, Hickman noted them, talked about what things were going to be difficult, stuff like that. This whole process took from January 2023 until August 26, 2025. The first comic of those was released.
The first comic was released in August of this year.
August of this year, correct. They were released to them. The 6 comics released weekly. Well, sorry, it's 3 comics. They released in 2 parts weekly. So like it just ended. Yeah. Oh. Isn't that psychotic? like okay, January 2023 pitches were submitted. March 2023 round 1 people were chosen. May of that year round 2 were chosen. July 2023 the winners were announced. November 2023 the scripts were completed. November of 2023.
Okay.
Which means it took a little less than 2 years for the art on 20-page comics. I don't understand what happens. I don't understand what happens in comics. That seems like a very long time. And I mean, these are good comics too. I really like them. They're like above average for these books that I like. I like a lot of the comics that we read. I want to talk about the comics too, but that timeline's crazy to me. The last thing. So Hickman did a post about just kind of a wrap up and talk about the stories as they exist. October of this year, 2025. It was weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a post from him on October 9th of October. What did I say? October 9th of October?
October 9th of October, yeah.
October 9th of October, 2025. And it starts with, well, I suppose this is the last post about this whole thing, unless we decide to do it again. Possible? Maybe. So congrats to the winners of the competition and everyone who took part. I'm really proud of how the whole contest went.
I think it's cool too. I mean, the whole thing is like, it gives a lot of creators opportunities to do things, but it's also just so gross.
Too, but here's the thing that we're glossing over here is that these people paid.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, if it's, I'm doing a contest, and I'm taking pitches from writers, fine, totally fine. Even like we mentioned with Snyder's thing, right? Like people are paying for the sake of, getting this education and then the possibility of getting published. Fine. Here, it feels weird to me because it feels like, you're paying again, it's a similar situation to Snyder. You're paying for the opportunity to get published, but at the end of the day, you're still paying for 3 Worlds, 3 Moons as a thing. Like it feels like betting. Actually, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
and reading one of his comics, one might even go as far as to say, and hear me out, Keigen, this is a true Chekhov's gun moment here. Feels like Gooner betting.
Get off, son. Oh, that's funny. I mean, I also, there's just a hobbyist nature to this kind of thing, especially the extemporaneous part of it. Like the fact that this wasn't like, there's no way they were thinking of doing this in
2021.
I guess I might be wrong. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't see that as a thing. And it's like, I've talked about this, and I don't know the answer to this, but the number of people, comic creators in comics who were also fans of comics and are fans of comics feels like, and it's the relational thing of the people in the business, the people creating the fans and comic shops. Like all of those things interact in a way that not a lot of other art forms do, I feel. Like there's a lot more people who are in TV because it's a job than who are in comics because it's a job. Like people in comics are obsessed with comics to a degree.
There's a very incestuous Ouroboros nature.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the thing
Like,
is,
and readers want to make, and I think that's
right.
the real relation that
Readers
I'm trying
want
to
to
get
make,
to, is
critics
that
want to
like,
write.
yes,
Critics want to
yeah,
write.
critics, exactly. And so it's like, it's this thing that it feels like you're leveraging a group of people who are particularly interested in trying to do this thing. And it's just a little icky. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's dystopian also. Like,
that's what it is. It's very dystopian to be like, oh, especially now in a market where, you mentioned Vertigo, and I think a huge issue with a lot of people have with the Vertigo lineup right now is just how coagulated the blood feels, and even with the Ultimate and Absolute lines, very rarely are you getting like comparing them to the Marvel Knights of and the original Ultimate line of yore. The difference now is instead of getting new talent, you're going for talent that already exists in the big two, right? In the direct market, that's how they're rolling. So when that dries up, when the opportunity to get your your big breaking comics dries up in the direct market, where do you go? And if this is where you have to go, yeah, it feels kind of shitty, like the fact that you had to pay in once you buy in to the, Three Worlds, Three Moons, the Substack, then you have to pitch them. And then you have to pray that your pitch actually makes it through. Right. It speaks to how weirdly things have shifted in comics as a whole right now, where, the idea of breaking in new talent, just the classic venues or the classic channels of doing that just aren't there right now. And the alternatives that have popped up feel kind of scummy, like it's either this or Webtoon, right? In Webtoon, we can talk for ages about the exploitative elements of that, right? The predatory elements of that.
Yeah, I like you said, like a lot of that stuff has closed up and it's changed. And I mean, like, there's just a crazy thing of just looking at X-Men, right? Not to say X-Men's good or anything like that, but like Brubaker let Fraction in. Brubaker let Fraction in multiple ways, right? X-Men and Iron Fist. But like Brubaker he clearly was like, hey bro, like come here. We're gonna get you a name here.
Here's a better example. Bendis and Hickman.
Bendis and Hickman's a good one. Like that's on topic. Yeah. Like, hey, here's a book that you can do and like excel on. Yeah. And like that's just not happening. And I mean, it sort of does here and there, but it's still so much less.
It doesn't feel as like when Bendis was contracted to do Ultimate Spider-Man in 2000. That was a big moment. Like that was a huge thing. And even, I guess the effects do lessen as time goes along, but like we don't really have those moments of we're taking a chance on a creator, and if they pop off, they pop off. It's becoming an increasingly risk averse. I mean, Camp was in the mines for
Camp
quite
was
some time.
In the mines, but like he kind of was just working like I don't like not doing comics for quite some time after Maxwell's Demons, right? Like like there was just a period where he wasn't doing anything, but it's still like Ultimates for him still feels like that sort of level of thing to me. I mean, Bendis was drawing his own comics too.
Right? Yeah, Bendis had like a ton of things before Ultimates. Like that Camp is probably the closest we're getting to another Bendis. Many different facets, but I don't know, like for especially looking at like the promise of what Substack comics are and what has grown out of this concept 5 years later. I don't know, it just feels very stagnant, and it feels like a similar stagnant nature.
It's not what's like a future looking thing. It's not repairing. It's like it's disruptive for the sake of disruptive. Like at least Netflix was good for a while, right? Like at least Netflix did give us a thing that we were like, why aren't we doing things like this? I don't understand the profitability of Netflix. It has never made sense to me, right? Like it was always going to burst and be bad.
Yeah, it was never profitable. I think there was like a brief period where it might have been, but yeah, it hasn't been profitable.
But like at least it was providing something of value.
I mean,
on some level,
it fundamentally shifted our relationship with,
and like Substack can't do that.
Yeah. Like Substack, even if it made things worse on a net scale, it hasn't really shifted anything.
Lan, how do you do worse than the direct market? I guess is the question. And like, it's crazy too, because it's not like Substack dictated anything to these people, right? Like, which means
they just gave them the money. They maybe put in some effort to try and support, they
made the panel integration. Substack made sure that happened. That's it though. So like, you're telling me your imagination is worse than the DM? Like that's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. Is they couldn't imagine a better world than the direct market comics. But with that said, some of these comics are bangers. Any of note that you liked? Actually, well, can we start with the like kind of main thread, the Foundations, Breathe, Academy, or do you want to start somewhere else?
Wherever you want to start. We can do that. I think those are the quickest ones. Great art. I think they're the quickest one
because so little happens.
Yeah, so little happens.
Incredible art.
Head empty, very few thoughts. They don't really
source book dependent, I think.
I don't know, because it feels like a significant degree of it doesn't feel like you have to have read the source books to like
maybe
enjoy them
if you have.
Yeah, they're meatier, of course. Like I think a lot of what is happening in these comics are good on a base scale, and then better if you read the source book. Which yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I mean, some of them are presented literally, like the ones in the source books. You have to read the things around, and they're cool,
right? And they're built around like they're demonstrations. Like like
exactly.
Here's a concept. Here's that concept in use. Like it's a very classic way of teaching.
Yeah. I will note Academy. Okay, this is hilarious. Okay,
yes,
Academy ran, there were some weeks off for sure. I don't know the math on this exactly, but it ran from November 2022 until June of 2023 with some breaks, with some weeks off,
weekly.
Whatever. Right. Weekly. So a double page spread every week.
That doesn't make sense though.
Issues 1 through 24.
Okay. 24. Okay, that makes sense
Then it was on hiatus until January 2025.
Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell.
Which the whole reason, one of the reasons I've been meaning to like check in on 3 Worlds, 3 Moons is because I knew there was a weekly by Steve Epting. I'm like, I want that comic. Where is he?
Again,
where is
artists
Epting
on
at?
this project are insane.
Really great. Yeah.
There every now and then I was like, what is Jerome Opeña doing right now? I miss his art. What's he up to?
He's doing a 6-pager for 3 Worlds, 3 Moons 4 years ago. It's insane. Yeah. And the amount of work they get them to do is funny too. Cause I'm like, I mean, Epting, this is a real work. Like again, it's 80 printed pages of stuff from him, which is really cool. And I think it's only halfway done. I think there's another half of Academy-ish.
Oh my god!
So this is like part 1, part 2. Cool thing. Very little happens, but it's fun to watch them inflate flower balloons and sink down into an abyss and looking for a university. It's cool. Like it's a lot of cool concepts.
Like for me, it's great. It's great reading it 3 years later, just because I haven't had to wait. 2 years for 30.
One page at a time is psychotic too. I just but this is like the heart of the thing. It's funny because Hickman was like, we're not really doing reading orders here. We're just kind of following threads that creators want to do. But if there is an ongoing story, it's this one. It's Foundations, Breathe, and Academy. That's kind of
and
for
the thing
people
is, you
who want
need to read them in that order. You need to read them as Foundations, Breathe, and order. Academy.
Yeah. Which at least it does say. Like Breathe doesn't. Foundations doesn't say go to Breathe, but Breathe does say go to Academy now. So at least it's helpful that way. But no, yeah, you have to figure out that that's the way to do it. Thank you, direct market. At least the direct market taught us that we have to figure out our own reading orders.
Yeah.
Did you read all of Valar's?
I read up to 17.
That's all of it. Yeah, that's part one.
Thank God.
So they haven't come back. They haven't come back.
It's not an Academy situation where there's 4 issues that I didn't know existed.
I don't know what Jason Howard's doing, because I think Valar's ended in September 2023. And as far as I know, he's working on it, and I think part 2 might all be almost done, like completely.
Okay,
but I'm not positive. What do you think about Valar's though? Okay, yeah. Here's my take. This is the most Hickman wanted to write more Fantastic Four. That's my take on this. It's his most Fantastic Four-iest comic.
Yeah.
Which is it's kind of a thing here. I think Three Worlds, Three Moons has parts of everything Hickman's written. Like it even more feels like it makes me go, what's the point of this dog? Like, I don't it's very similar to our Ewing discussion of like, you've done this before, okay, but it's like it's not executed better here.
Right. It's like, what's different?
It's fun.
I don't even need it to be executed better here. I think it's what's different this time.
Yeah.
And it's what specifically makes this Three Worlds, Three Moons?
Yeah, and the thing is like what's different is you don't have the best guys, the Thing and Johnny. This was like, what are we doing? Yeah, no. Yeah, that's it. It's cool. I like the art. Art's good.
Art's good. Again, I hate to say it, but like the art is fantastic across the board here.
Yeah.
Like there are very few instances.
It's like all bangers.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the other stuff. Source books.
Source books.
What are your notes on comics? Let's just run through comic notes.
Let's see. Again, really nice art. There was one from Andre Lima Arau, which I really liked.
Oh, okay.
The one from James Stokely was also really good.
Oh, I love that one.
That was a fantastic one.
All the pirate stuff in both of them is really good.
The other pirate stuff was also Jason Howard, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are really fun.
Mining? No, that was Stephen Green. Looks a lot like.
Oh, Stephen Green. Okay, yeah. So Stephen Green, and James Stokely's work, fantastic.
Yeah,
I love those stories.
The pirate stuff is so sick. Hickman being like, we just want people to okay.
The intersection with the religion stuff with it as well is also so good. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, there's a lot going on.
There's two immediate things with the pirate stuff. One, I'm like, why isn't anybody doing a pirate ongoing for you right now, Jonathan Hickman? Mm-hmm. Like Three Worlds, Three Moons. Why isn't anybody doing a pirate ongoing? Because it's ready. There's enough there. Two, I'm like, why'd you only get Stokely for like 16 pages, dude? Like,
yeah.
Why didn't you pay him all the money to do 100?
Why didn't you let him do a Legends thing? At the very least, do a Legends story.
Yeah.
Why stick him on just the
the
source book?
Go off. Let him go off. Like let him go crazy, because it's like he's a writer artist, he's a cartoonist. But everything in the source books is written by Three Worlds, Three Moons. Versus the Legends is actually other people. So yeah, I would have liked to see him on a Legend too. Awesome. The Stokely stuff is phenomenal. Yeah.
I liked Singurail. I think that was also a bit of Hickman at his.
I liked Singurail. Yeah, Singurail is really good. Really good.
I like the diagram at the end. That was really good. Trying to think of another one. What was Sisterhood? Sisterhood was
That's Howard. That's the witch one, right?
The witch one.
No, sorry. Wait. No, Sisterhood was the two old ladies at the restaurant. That was fun too.
That was fun. Yeah.
He cuts the hole in the floor and dives in.
That
one's really fun. It's very Manhattan Project Hickman.
Like again, like there are a lot of really good one-offs in here. Even just in the source books. Like these are stories that feel like a very lived-in world, and I think that's again, Three Worlds, Three Moons at its best is when you can have these stories that feel like a part of the tapestry. And like all the legends and the source book stories feel like they're properly executing on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's proof of concept. I love the Vojragonto, the space whales. Immortal space whales that are the basis of planetary travel. So sick. Oh my god! Like, it's obvious. It's such an obvious thing. It's kind of like Payakan, right? I don't love Avatar 2, but like every scene that Payakan is in, I'm just like, that's the star. You need to get him in front of cameras. When Payakan's not
on the screen, you should be asking where Payakan is.
Where's Payakan? Yeah, he's the hero. I want a completely silent whale adventure story. It could be 4 hours, James Cameron. I don't care about these other people. I need to know Payakan is safe. Like, there's 80 of them. They're immortal. Yeah. It's so sick. Like, anytime people are doing Vojragonto things, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. And then Darjon the Blind is a similar thing. The duelist as a concept is cool. It's also, it gets boring very quickly, I think. It's just a bunch of assassinations.
Yeah.
It's like an excuse to always have assassins running around, which is like a good thing to have in the world, but like duel focused stories get old pretty quickly. Not Darjon the Blind though. That's an awesome concept. Love it. Yeah. The Juniball one is cool, and maps.
Juniball one's cool, yeah. That one was good. Trying to think of the other one. The thing that pissed me off about reading the print or the collected editions was that they don't put the credits before the actual comics. So what I found myself doing was I had to like flip back or go back to the first page just to be like, oh, okay, this was the Juniball comic. Or
did you do Legends 2 stuff? The uncollected Legends 2 stuff?
Nah, so that's what the Jacob Phillips and Chris Condon one, and I don't know what else was in that.
There's a bunch more, yeah. You kind of have to scroll around.
Oh, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Oh, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Dude, I'm gonna be disgusting right now.
You liked
the PKJ one? Might be. It's up there. Stokoi is definitely above it. It's Vojragonto stuff though. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Immediately, he gets to do the cool shit with it, which is unfortunate. I don't want him to get the cool stuff. Like, give it to Waters. Let Waters do that stuff.
Unfortunate. It's like one of those things where, I read. I guess if we can skip to Legends here. I read the Camp Morian one, and I'm like, maybe I should read 20th Century Men.
I don't want to hype it. I've already told you my actual take on it, and it's no, but it's like it's stuff that's already been done before. So like, if you go in and you're like, you should be able to see like, okay, I know this is pulling on this stuff, but also
I don't need you, listen, I don't need you to convince me on 20th Century Men.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the right time.
Okay.
That's it.
No, there's this really fun though. It's a different vibe than Camp gets to operate in, really, too, because it's like, it's really funny.
It's a perfect conceit, like a guy whose job is saving lives is in a place where he literally can't.
Yeah,
perfect idea.
He should avoid doing it sometimes. Yeah, it's really
every
fun.
time it's like, it was just an accident.
Yeah. Speaking of Waters, though, the sacrifice one he did with Danny, my only note for it was white boy nonsense.
Yeah. Like, good looking white boy nonsense, huh? I will say.
Yeah, it's true. Danny's working with Rucka on Batwoman, so at least I get to read something that's not dog shit.
I liked the Charlatan, the Rich Duick and Alex Cormack one about the guy with the healing powers that finds out that he actually has healing powers.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, that one's just like a very like classic dumb guy chase across. Like it, it's the perfect kind of thing where it's like we're just following a guy, watching him move around while the world around him falls apart. Like very one battle after another coded. One might say. So I like the charlatan. I didn't really care for the hobbler. That one was, it's got good Vojiganto stuff in it. It's got good Vojiganto stuff in it, but I don't know.
Wingard, hack as Havo's wager.
Oh, it's gonna hate me. I liked it. I liked it because I liked the art specifically.
I didn't not like it. Like I did not like it. It's just illustrated.
It feels tired. Like the prose concept feels tired to me. That's what it is.
And Ewing's been doing it. So I did a disgusting thing. So I had skeeted that Asrar is doing some issues of X-Men during Age of Revelation. So I was like, fine, I'll look at it. Didn't pay for it. I'll look at it. It's awful. It's not good. They're not good comics. But then I was like, oh, Ewing. People are freaking out about Ewing doing a book, a story in the Age of Revelation, one of those, right? And he does the same thing there. It's the same thing as that Immortal Hulk issue, where with the Fantastic Four that is extremely well done.
Penultimate issue, right?
Yeah,
I think it's like one of the last few issues of the run.
It might be 48. Yeah, it's like it's right toward the end. Awesome,
right?
And he's just still kind of been doing that. A lot of times. It's just kind of like I get it. Like
the formalism, I don't really care for. It's a nice story. Yeah. I think it's a very also another one that's also like we've seen this before. Like that's a very classic. Guy plays a game and at the end of it, like it's the kind of stuff that my parents would tell me about. But
it's very
also,
mythical,
like but also like that's the kind of stuff that this universe needs. Right, like the kind of like folklore. In that aspect, I liked it.
Yeah, no, I actually made that same note. No, and I agree with you on that one. I made the same note for Single Rail. Actually, like Single Rail feels like a fable. It feels like, and it like pulls it off in a really good way. This like story about this one guy, and even if it's not, far past or anything like that, there are a few of these that hit that fable aspect really well, and I like how it was wagered for also it is a fable within the universe. That's fun.
Like
it's cool.
It's a weird thing to be like, this isn't the strongest work of the line, however it's a necessary work for this thing to really
it's doing something. It's doing something for it. And like in a book like this, I mean, Havo's Wager kind of belongs in a source book,
right?
On some level, right? Just because it's like
it feels like that. So many of these, it feels like the kind of thing where like after you do read the bit about religion, you go to Havo's Wager because that is folklore. This is like someone talking about their relationship to Havo as a being and a concept. Also, Havo's Wager, another one that makes a case for the print edition, because I couldn't I would be pissed reading this in a scrolling format. I would be so pissed.
They should have formatted it double page spread anyway. Like let me zoom in. It's fine. But yeah, like trying to figure out which one of them were who, with that first page of prose explaining, how each of them look was like, I had to flip back and forth to figure out, and I had to do that a couple times because I was just like, I don't remember which one's who. And I mean the words in the pictures are still telling the story in a way that like you can figure it out later on, right? Based on which one's getting in the car. But it's just I'm bad with names. So like
another thing, this podcast again, first time listeners, bad with numbers, bad with names,
bad with names. No, the Legends 2 stuff is good. There's a lot of good stuff in Legends 2 stuff. I'm not going to tell you to go read it, but like the surprising. So I downloaded them, which means they don't have credits, right?
Oh,
so I downloaded all 6, and I know which one is. I know which one is Phillips, right?
Right, of course.
That one's easy to tell, but the rest I don't like know a lot of these names. So yeah, I didn't know that the PKJ one was PKJ. I didn't know there's a Gronbeck one that I really like. That's about the prisons.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean they're good. I think they're equally as good as Legends one, is what I would say.
Okay.
You know, yeah. Vojagonto are awesome. And the pirates. I think they're like, I don't care about the Hickman bullshit going on in Foundations. Like, give me other stuff by other creators.
That's the thing. I read the Valor stuff after I had read all of the source book and all of the Legend stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So for me, by that point, it felt comparatively less rich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this really is the Skywalker saga to the Andors and the Skeleton Crews, which again, I've been told is a good one.
I've been told. I've heard.
I wouldn't know. I've heard.
My sister watched Skeleton Crew. It is definitely Star Wars for normies.
People are saying that the Vojagonto are like the elephant kid from Skeleton Crew. Streets are saying that.
No, they're cute, I guess. His name's probably like Grebe. This is, you know.
Yeah, sounds about right. Havo, by the way, Muppet.
Yes, if they ever did it's a Muppet. Absolutely.
I mean, like they made the plush of Havo and like Muppet.
Oh, they do have a plush.
They do have a Havo plush. Yes.
Okay, I forgot plush. I did not. Yeah,
it is 36 Canadian dollars.
Wow.
Actually, I guess if we're done with story talk, I do want to talk just about the Kickstarter to wrap things up here.
Of course,
because there was a Kickstarter last year that really is the
$170,000 American dollars.
$170,000 or 240,693 Canadian dollars.
Oh, thank you.
So the thing about that is like, I didn't read Three Worlds, Three Moons as it was coming out on Substack. I'm a normal person. I don't read Substack comics. This is an opportunity for me to get in. You know, how much do I gotta pay to read all the comics that we've read thus far? Let me put you through the pledge tiers here. So first, the cheapest tier, we've got the digital all access pass, which is digital PDFs of all the titles on offer: Foundation, Shift, Arrivals, Systems, Maps, and Histories, and both volumes of Legends for $60 or 85 Canadian dollars. And this is digital access only. At that same price, PDFs. At 85 Canadian dollars, as again, PDF.
I'll kill you.
85 Canadian dollars or 60 US dollars. You have the Three Worlds, Three Moons one soft cover, which I believe is like everything else, 200 pages for $85.
One is different. One is different. I don't know.
Okay, it contains Foundations, Shift, and Arrivals. So I would have to assume it's around the same price. So that is 85 Canadian dollars or 60 US dollars. The hardcover edition of that is $85 US or 120 Canadian dollars.
See, I remember it's 75, which was already too much. And I remember being mad about this. Like,
there is also the Prestige Collector's Set, which is the massively oversized standalone editions that launch with their universe, blah, 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 with some exclusive covers, and that is $120 or 85 US dollars. There is the signed deluxe hardcover, which is $125 US and 176 Canadian dollars. That is, again, Foundation, Shift, Arrivals into one hardcover. And then there's a signed collector's edition set. And then there's hear me out here, the soft cover Legends tier, which is 600 pages across 3 soft covers. That is the one soft cover and both volumes of the Legends soft covers. This is literally all
Legends
just comics.
Or Systems?
No, Legends. So okay. Legends 1 and Legends 2. That is $115 US or 162 Canadian dollars.
Okay, wait, what's 115? So that's like $40, less than $40 a book. That one's not that bad.
I mean, it is crazy though.
It's bad. It's
200 pages for $40.
I did the Shin.
Like even by Kickstarter standards. Again, none of this features shipping, right? Like if I were to do pledge and then I do my country, oh my God. Canada plus 32, Cameroon plus 70, Cape Verde plus 70. Let's do Colombia plus 70. Falkland, I gotta go for bigger countries. Germany plus 70. If you're a German subscriber or a German, if you're a German, if you like 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, you want to get into 3 Worlds, 3 Moons,
giving money to Substack.
If you're German and you want to get 3 comics, 600 pages total, that is 260 Canadian dollars or 185 US dollars.
How many German dollars?
You mean how many euros? Yeah, remember that? Remember how they have a unified system? 185 USD to euros. Yeah,
I mean, my country has a unified
system. It's 158 euros. So that's 158 euros for 600 pages.
Yeah,
you're paying.
The $40 is definitely still inflated. I think for similar things on Kickstarter, like Kickstarter creators who are doing great work. Also, like, let's just be clear, right? Matt Emmons is a Kickstarter creator. He's not an image creator. He's not anything else. He is a Kickstarter creator. I mean, his stuff are a little bit less pages and kind of a little more pricey. A lot sometimes, depending on what you're going for. But like other Kickstarter creators with, but
that's also one where books. Like I don't know, the pricing makes sense. Again, it's smaller. It's a smaller outfit. You know.
Yeah. And that is the whole thing is like, I feel like if you're a bigger creator on Kickstarter, cool. I'm happy for you. Do it. Like this is a way to have independence from the publishers in a way that you deserve to. But like, you're going to be profitable. Like, your profitability margins. So, and I know your profitability margins based on other Kickstarter creators who are doing similar things to you. And there's no way that costs $40. Like, you're lying. And you're like, actually 170,000 isn't that incredible for this. I remember at the time being like, man, but I'm like, Sharetti, when she was doing her art books, got crazy numbers, right? Like there's people doing dumb bullshit on Kickstarter who hit $300,000. Like this is actually, it's like not low. Obviously they funded and everything, but like,
there's an AI generated.
They lost me.
There's an AI generated comic, a sexy comic, I should say. Nothing wrong with sexy comics, but this one's AI generated. 48,000 Canadian dollars off a $7,000 goal.
That's
so
awful.
It's not difficult, right? Yeah. Like I think that's the point to make is like when it comes to Kickstarter, especially with after a certain popularity point, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, Hickman was going to fund. A Hickman book was going to fund through Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And whatever. I'm not even really speaking to its popularity or anything like that.
Again, it goes back to the whole like buying in aspect. You know, it's not quite to the same extent as a competition, but it's like, okay, if you want to read this, you are going to put in, a quarter paycheck into this. Yeah.
No, and it's a thing of too, just like the collector part of it is like the manipulating FOMO and all that stuff just sucks. This project more than anything else, the Kickstarter, because like I'll back things on Kickstarter. I'll go for it. This one pissed me off though. It did. That was it's very predatory, I thought, especially when they could go to a publisher and get like do well, right? They're not finding a new audience on Kickstarter. So there's a bunch of levels to this Kickstarter that I found annoying, and I did not back it. It's the more ethical way of consuming the product because you don't have to give money to Substack. But it just sucks.
It's funny that they took this route, especially with how many creators we know took it to the direct market, either publishing through Image or Dark Horse.
I don't know. It's very weird that like they have a storefront. right?
Yeah.
Which, Kickstarter was giving people the access to it who aren't in the storefront, but it also was offering stuff that they're not planning on offering through the storefront. So it's like, how many people who are already paying for Three Worlds, Three Moons went for the Kickstarter? It's probably mostly them. It's probably mostly people.
Like,
who
how
are
many
already...
people that aren't subscribed to Three Worlds, Three Moons already buying into the Kickstarter?
Right.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I
would like to know.
I don't know.
I would like to know. I will say I'm very happy that we had similar reactions to this. Not that I thought one of us was going to like it. I genuinely, I went into this not knowing how I was going to react to it. But I'm happy that both of us are like, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
this is dumb in a bunch of ways.
It's annoying because there's a lot of good stuff happening within it, right? Like, I'm not going to say that it's a net negative.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on here that I am just scratching my head at. That, again, we're in its 5th year of publication. It's crazy. You know what happens in 5 years? The entirety of Immortal Hulk.
Yeah.
The entirety of Krakoa.
Yeah.
The
entirety of the Ultimates line.
The entirety of the... So 2 times the entirety of the Ultimates line. Right? Yeah. And you think, like... I don't know, 5 years... for, I guess the older you get, the less time it feels like, right? But 5 years is a long time. 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
ample time to build up like a proper.
And I mean, one of the things, right? Hickman did public notes on all of those, on all the competition scripts, and he reacted publicly to those pieces that Howard Ewing and Ram V wrote. And you look at it and you go, this guy's a good editor.
Yeah.
Right. Like, this guy knows what comic scripts are supposed to look like. This guy knows what he wants this universe to look like. Why I don't like, and even they have him, Huddleston and Del Mundo have kind of positioned themselves within Three Worlds, Three Moons as kind of a classic magazine editorial role, right? Where it's like they're the art directors, and he's kind of the, like, he's not the EIC by title within the company, but he kind of is, right? He's like dictating a lot of the things around the way the stories are told and stuff like that. And it's like, why? It just goes into the whole ego thing of all these writers, including like Bendis. Bendis had an obvious extension of going from being a writer to being an editor. And I think that role would have suited him much better had he stepped into it in like 2013, 2014. Had he done that instead? The wonder.
Even Slot,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like, I don't know why Hickman doesn't just choose to fulfill that role here, because it feels like that's what he would be better at. And it feels like it's, to a degree, what he kind of has wanted to do with the last big projects he's done at Marvel, right? With Krakoa and with Ultimates. And I don't know, it feels like obvious when you're looking at it that that's what he should do. And then the question is just why isn't he? And maybe he is more than we can tell, right? Maybe that's a lot of what he's doing. And maybe that's why he has Nick Spencer co-writing their 96-page comic.
Nick Spencer is the devil on the shoulder. I think that's the only way to cope with this.
Only you can write this good. But yeah, I mean, it's this quality in Legends where I'm like, it's so exciting to see these people get to tackle this universe and picking the things they're interested in doing. And I wish there was more of that than diet Hickman comics. Like, Hickman comics that are diet versions of other Hickman comics that I already liked. And that's my bottom line for the comic. I think that's kind of my final thought on the actual comics. Yeah.
I don't know what it'll look like a year from now or even 5 years from now.
There will be at least 5 more posts.
Academies will still continue.
Yeah.
We did it 5 years from now. We did it. We made it to issue 50 of Academy.
Oh my god. Valar's number 27 released 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we've managed to come full circle on this, and really, in many ways, it feels like I've gotten some closure to what we started in 2021.
In 5 years, I don't know that I'll feel the need to check back in on this.
No, hopefully there'll be like actually, I hope there will be a cheaper way of checking it out in print in 5 years.
Yes. Oh God, yeah, that's true. My last note. I have final thoughts that we literally touched on every single part of my final thoughts except for this. This is as disappointing as the Power Fantasy to me.
Wow. Okay.
That's I read the second trade this week of Power Fantasy. Because it's just smooth brained. I forget everything that happens. And
so you're saying it's not the good Asian of 2025.
No, I already told you. Assorted Crisis Events is the good Asian of 2025.
Damn. But I don't really see people. Okay, you know what? Yeah, it's fine. I'm not in circles
The good Asian
anymore.
isn't bad. The good Asian isn't bad.
No. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing the praise.
Oh, I am.
Like
I am.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So that's what I mean. I'm not in the circles.
Yeah, the Power Fantasy also is getting that kind of phrase, but I'm also seeing people calling it bullshit now. So that's good. But it's and like the Power. I don't hate the Power Fantasy either. Just like I don't hate this as a thing. They just give me similar feelings of like, why is this what you're spending your time doing? Like, go write a TV show. You guys need a break. Get out of my face with this stuff. Hickman and Gillen, like, go do something else for a little while, refresh and come back. Hopefully Die will be good, but like other than that, it's very much a thing of just like you both need to like shut up for a little while, I think, and like experience life and art for a while. But that's just my explanation. That's just me pathologizing a couple of writers who have enjoyed a lot of.
You check out 3 Worlds, 3 Moons for like 4 minutes, and suddenly the parasocial demons really just hit you. I'm a stakeholder of 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, actually. for the period of this 1 month, I'm a stakeholder. All right,
yeah, it's true.
When's the next 3 Worlds, 3 Moons stake? Yeah, so. You literally carried your way into it.
I did. I was. They were all honest feelings though too, right? Like I very very early on I was like the DM comparison just blossomed, and I'm just like this. Hopefully this will piss them off. Hopefully this will make somebody on the other side mad to be compared to the direct market, because they're so similar. You're not even doing anything different,
and you got your answer within hours. So
yeah, like again, it could just be.
Wield that power, white boy. Wield that power.
I did. Not even against an enemy either. But you know what? It is what it is. I think that's the episode, though.
I think that's the episode. If you want to be a stakeholder in us, I had to do the segue just in case.
Parasocial relationship with.
Listen, that's all podcasts are. That's the only reason you're listening to us.
Leveraging fake relationships. But
my friend Lan,
in both of those ways, yeah, my friend Lan, in both of those ways,
my friends Lan and Keigen insults.
Join the Discord if you want that. If you want that sweet parasocial nectar.
Well, I was gonna go the full 3 Worlds through 3 Moons route of it. Well, subscribe to our Patreon.
There we go. Subscribe to our Patreon. We're changing the tiers. Are the tiers changed?
I'm probably not in writing, but
we're changing the tiers. Yeah, probably
by the time this episode comes out. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Listen, it's an ongoing effort. There's a lot to do. All right.
Our newest bonus is a Common Ride Along episode where we talked about American adaptations. It's very fun.
That's probably not going to come out for another like 3 months until.
Oh damn, you're right. We need to catch up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a show that releases bi-weekly. What do you want me to do?
Oh, will the Killers bonus be out?
The Killers bonus will be out by the time this episode comes out. Yes,
we did both of the Killers by
the Killer, just the Killer.
Yeah, the Killer.
Well, there's only the one Killer.
The Killers. The two
but
the Killer.
It happened twice.
Films. Fun.
Both by John Woo. It was a good episode. Salt's in that one as well. Salt has some really good insight.
Yeah.
yeah, we're making sure that the people that are paying for us are getting their money's worth.
We're also just putting out a lot of episodes right now, so that's why I don't even know when things are happening. But also check out Common Ride Along. The first 2 episodes are out now. Maybe a third will be out by the time this comes out. It's fun. The Amazon episode, I can't believe that's the second episode. That is a load bearing. Like it's literally like we had the pilot, and then it's like episode 2 is like don't skip episode 2. I don't know why you would. If you're like me, maybe you will. But like it is load bearing. I think it's very informative of what I want out of Kamen Rider to everyone else's bewilderment. It's good. It's good. It's been very fun, and we're having a good time with Kamen Ride Along. So check that out too. That's our other series. And yeah, I mean, interact with us wherever. Follow the links in the description. And really do think about the Patreon. Our B-sides have been fire lately. That's only $2. $2 gets you the B-side. So come along, come with us, become a grappler instead of just a flubber, you know? Anyway, Tastemakers grab bag. Lan, you got to go first.
Okay. I've got 2. The first one I'm gonna recommend is a show that we're gonna be reviewing on Kamen Ride Along in a few weeks, I think. Kamen Rider Geats. And what happened here was that I've already seen this show. I've already finished the show. But while I was doing some work yesterday, I was cruising through YouTube, but I already done all the doom scrolling stuff that I'm wont to do. And then I saw that Shout was streaming Kamen Rider Geats. They have this ongoing, just cycling through it until, it loops around. So I was like, you know what? I'll just jump in. Why not? Right? So I put it on. I think it started around like episode 32. I'm like, I'll just keep this on in the background. 2 episodes later, I'm doing the dad thing where I'm standing in front of the screen with my arms crossed. That's the kind of shit this show does to me. I'm like, you got me. You got me.
Dang. How are you doing jury tampering so far in advance?
Well, see, I'm doing it now because if I recommend it later, closer to when we actually record the episode, you're gonna keep the goal is to do it now so you forget about it.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know, like it's one of those shows where the further you get away from it, you start to wonder, was it really that good? It's like the Breath of the Wild of Kamen Rider shows for me. Where it's like, very hyped up in its time, but then the further you go along, you start to hear a lot more naysayers. It wasn't really that good. I think it was overhyped. I think there's too much. People are giving it too much. And then you go and you actually you rewatch it, and then you do the TV thing that dads do, and you're like, no, it was as good as people said it was. So yeah, that's my first one. And then my second one, I joked about this in one of our upcoming episodes, actually, because of how we schedule things. Tron Ares, I listened to the soundtrack. I didn't watch the movie. The soundtrack is fucking amazing.
Damn.
I have been bumping that shit all week, and it is just fantastic. 9 Inch Nails doing practically everything is like 9 Inch Nails. If you know their stuff, you know their stuff. This is like, oh my god, just Shadow Over Me has been in rotation every single morning as I'm going to work. Yeah, good album. That's it for Tastemakers this week for me.
Okay. I should, I've been the whole thing. I should try. I'll try the album probably this week. I'll see. I'll be writing a work writing thing. I have one thing, and it's a food item. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not gonna give the whole recipe because I don't have it in front of me. But okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look up a shortbread cookie recipe.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were talking about the bean soup.
No bean soup. No.
Okay.
This it's good. It's easy too, but no.
Okay. B-sides, by the way. The B-side for this episode will give you context of that.
You'll understand. You'll understand the bean soup if you give us $2. It's going to be like B-side 35 or something like that. No, I'm probably off. Anyway, shortbread cookie. You're going to look up a shortbread cookie recipe. It's very simple. This is flour, butter, vanilla extract. Just I don't have the measurements, so Okay, you're going to make your batter. Then what you're going to do is you're going to zest 1 or 2 lemons. Okay, lemon rinds into that dough. Okay, 1 or 2, depending on how lemony you're feeling. Okay, then you bake those. Follow the instructions. Make the shortbread cookies. They're just shortbread cookies. Okay. Now, when they're done, you're gonna make lemon icing. Okay, so you're gonna get your powdered sugar. I think it's like 1.5 cups, 2 cups powdered sugar. You're gonna juice your lemons, probably 2, maybe 1, maybe 1.5. You're gonna juice those into the powdered sugar, and that's gonna turn into icing. Okay. Pour the icing on the cookies, and you're gonna crush some pistachios. You're gonna dust the cookies with pistachio dust. You now have a lemon pistachio shortbread cookie, and they're delicious. Okay. We've made these twice. We based them off of a cookie that we got from a coffee shop that we love. And my coworkers are demanding I make cookies. Okay. I bring them in, and my coworkers are like, these are like crack. They're delicious. Okay. So Tastemakers Crack Pack, you're gonna make lemon pistachio cookies. That's what's going in there. Again, just look up a short. They're genuinely incredibly easy to make. There's no eggs. You don't even have to. You could just eat the dough. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't even really have to cook them. You cook them like overcooking them doesn't even like really burn them. It just like makes them a little harder. It's great. They're the easiest cookie to ever make. And then you're gonna put some delicious lemon frosting on top of them, lemon icing on top of them. Fantastic. They're delicious. They're incredible. And then stop doing protein powder. That's what we're doing. We're 2025, 2026. No more protein powder.
Yep.
Okay. There's lead in it. We're not doing this anymore. We're doing eggs.
Eat your beans. Eat your chickpeas. Lentils.
We're doing chickpeas. No more protein powder. Okay. I know. Okay. How am I supposed to get 200 grams of protein in a day? We'll figure it out. Okay. Together.
All right.
No more protein powder, guys.
Keegan, you're not going to believe this. I got to piss real bad. We've been recording for almost 3 hours. I gotta piss real bad.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. As always.
Keep on grappling. I gotta go, man.